neck race heading into November is not out of the realm of possibility. Chris Stirewalt joins me right now. He is our Fox News digital politics editor. Chris, good to see you.
How are we doing?
Walk me through here your scenario. How do you see this playing out?
Well, so far, what we see in that Monmouth poll and other polls, this is the low ebb for Donald Trump. This is the bottom end of his support. He's got a range that's between the mid-30s to the mid-40s, maybe 46, 47. Hillary Clinton has a range, too. Her range is from about 50% down to the low 40s. So you can imagine a moment if these two candidates stay within these bandwidths, that if he's at his high point and she's at her low point 3 months from today on Election Day, guess what? He could win. He could win a narrow election. And that could be very challenging for this country because, remember, a big part of Donald Trump's success is saying that everything's rigged, that the country's a fraud, that things are falling apart, that you can't trust people, and that there's a conspiracy against ordinary folks. If you have that, and that energy is on the left and the right, whether you're Elizabeth Warren or whether you're Donald Trump, that's all out there. If we get into a 2000 Bush v. Gore situation, things get pretty dicey out there.
I would imagine. Now, let me ask you about polling data and historically how it's been. I mean, there have been in recent times situations in which the polling hasn't held up in terms of, say, August in 1988, Dukakis was ahead in the polls, yet failed to win the presidency.
Well, sure. Just because the polls say something today doesn't mean that that's what it's going to be 3 months from today. We're exactly halfway between Donald Trump clinching the nomination and Election Day. So we're exactly at the hinge point in the election. We're halfway home. Now, things can change a lot over that period of time. And even if it just stays within that bandwidth, it can change a lot. Here's what I would remind you. Here's what I would remind you. This is really important. The polls are mostly accurate. Good polls have mostly been accurate, and we have never seen a quadrennial presidential election blown. We're looking for the trend lines over the next 3 months.
Do you think that he helped himself today by getting back to the economy as his main message?
It's his best message. It's the thing that voters trust him the most on consistently. That's his best place to be. He ought to stay there. All
right, Chris, thanks so much. All right, as you just heard moments ago, there's a new face shaking up the 2016 presidential race. Evan McMillan, he says he's really not going to take votes from Donald Trump, but that's, I guess, one of the concerns here.
Well, I don't think he's going to get any votes. I mean, this is a kind of a desperate noise in the wind kind of move, Trish. We're not going to pay any attention to this. And I'll say this about the polls. They can't poll energy. The Donald Trump energy, reason people are voting for him, he's going to secure the borders, bring our jobs back, defeat ISIS, make America great again, put America first. Hillary Clinton has yet to give a reason why anyone should vote for her. The best she can say is, don't vote for Donald Trump. That's not going to cut it over the next 95 days. And when she steps up in that first debate with Donald Trump, no one's going to be watching an NFL game. America's going to tune in. And Hillary Clinton, who can't take a question from the New York Times and defend what she's trying to defend, because you can't defend the indefensible on the emails, let alone the foundation and Benghazi, you can go on and on. What I'll say is the polls don't mean a whole lot today. I think we just have to look at the battleground states. We have to look at Ohio, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Florida. Those are the key states. Donald Trump wins those 4 states. He's our next president.
If he keeps doing what he did today, Representative, if he keeps doing what he did today, if he keeps hitting the issues, and by that I mean the economy, I mean national security, if he stays on message, can he turn this thing around?
Oh, there's no question he can. We had kind of a stumble the last week or so, but I think he's back on message. It is the economy. 80% of the public says the economy's going in the wrong direction. The country's going in the wrong direction. As one of your other folks on the show said, the middle class hasn't had a wage increase in 20 years, more people living in poverty. We need to get the economy moving, and that's going to create the opportunities for wage increases, more jobs. We're going to bring the jobs back from China. We're going to erect some tariffs to make sure we have fair trade. This free trade nonsense just didn't cut it. So on jobs in the economy, as well as talking about terrorism, Donald Trump has the answers. It's a reason to vote for him. And again, Hillary hasn't yet given a reason to vote for her.
Thank you so much. Good to have you here. All right. For months now, everyone, Hillary Clinton has embraced the Black Lives Matter movement. But when police tried to reach out to Mrs. Clinton, her response left them disappointed and shocked. Sheriff David Clark and attorney Eric Guster are here on that next. Plus, an alleged spy is referenced in Hillary Clinton's unsecure emails. And then Iran kills him. Judge Andrew Napolitano is just ahead.
Does the department think that, and some have even charged that there's a link between that appearance in unclassified emails and the prosecution and execution of Dr. Amiri? Does the department see any linkage between the two?